your scalp. Well, you get that little oil that I put on every morning. A little bit of oil right there. It would just torch right up, Tom. That'd be it. I'd be in trouble.
Torchy's Tacos.
We are excited, obviously, Libations Friday. First real full bore, kind of everybody's all in. Here we go, Libations Friday edition of the football season. You have the conviction to do what I did last night, which is to take Buffalo to slap that ass, and boy, did they. Get you some Rams. Don't you just feel like the Rams are going to stink? I do.
Unless Andrew Whitworth comes out of retirement, yeah.
I think they got problems. Good. Screw them. But I also think Buffalo is everything everybody else thinks about Buffalo going into the season. That is a loaded club and one that is incredible. It's fun to watch that team play.
It took about 5 throws before you go, oh, my God.
You forgot, right?
That back shoulder to Stephon Diggs in a third down in between the linebacker and the safety.
Man.
And that thing is 100 miles an hour and 8 yards away from him.
So remember this, and I'll get to the news of the day with the uniforms and all the goodness. But do you recall, I told you a long time ago, and we've had this discussion before. I think football fans in general have this discussion. But there aren't too many guys that you say, well, I would pay like above and beyond to go see that person play. That if they're not on your team, you know what I mean? Like that. We all have our teams, right? You guys know I'm a Bucs fan, so yeah, I don't hide that. If it's a Bucs game or a player that's really good on the Bucs, I'm all in. I'm excited. Everybody else's really good player, I can appreciate. I can note for all the reasons that we note: gambling, fantasy football, appreciation for skill, preternatural gifted athletes, all that stuff, right? And so, you watch. You kind of watch the games. You're like, that's a guy right there. He's really talented. And then you see somebody else, and you move it along. You don't spend a lot of time on it. Then there are the guys that you're awed by. And you realize you're witnessing somebody as they're maybe coming into their own. What's up, William? Maybe somebody coming into their own. That's a random on the chat saying, hey, moment. It's Libations Friday. It's loosey-goosey. We could go where we want to go. Garrett's feeling icy. So I'm just telling you that typically that's how it happens. And then anyhow, I look at something and I go, I would give my hard-earned cash to this franchise to go watch this guy play. He's that good. I wish it's appointment television. It's Josh Allen. It's the perfect combination: size, mobility, cannon for an arm. He's got moxie. His players love him. He's tough as nails.
Yeah, not afraid of contact.
Oh, no, he's tough. He's bigger than half the guys trying to tackle him, including rather sizable linebackers. It's all there. It's all there. You love it. Now, there are other guys in the league I feel that way about, but he's the latest addition of the players that I would pay that are not on my team, that I would go pay to see play and really enjoy watching.
Yeah, he's got different parts of great quarterbacks that we love. He's got some Dante Culpepper to him for the size. He's got the arm strength of, I don't know, Big Ben.
Oh, in his prime, yeah.
Yeah, and he's
last 3 years, Big Ben's arm was a child's arm, but yes.
But he's got the love for contact of Cam Newton. It's just now
I worry.
He's not the same as any of those players, but it's just you put those 3 things together, and you'd say, yeah, sign me up for that player.
You know what it is? It's what it's the stuff that you get a glimpse of that made them draft him. Despite all these warning signs, like maybe we shouldn't draft him. He's not terribly accurate in college, and he played at a small school. If you're not accurate in college, that's a problem. If you play at a small school and you're going up against inferior competition and you're not accurate, it's a really big problem. And so all of a sudden, you're looking at him, you're like, why did they draft him so high? I know. And then you look at him and you go, because they took a chance that he'd find it when he got professional coaching. He had all the other physical attributes and then some that people do not have, and they thought they could teach him, and it worked out.
But the problem is you can see things last night where there was one play he decided to take off up the middle, and there's Aaron Donald waiting on you. And then you see a couple other tackles in the game where they're allowed to give him the business for a little bit extra because it's in play, because he's going to play like he does. The refs are going to allow a little bit extra to happen as they drive him to the ground. And even the touchdown where he extends the ball over the pylon. I mean, that's a man's touchdown.
That's a man's touchdown.
In week 1, as a Bills fan, I was saying, yo, man,
well,
because the way he falls is so awkward. If his arm gets pinned underneath him, then we don't have him until week 10. So, Josh, I love you. Save that for January. If you use that in January, I'm good.
Here's what I think. I think if you're a Bills fan, and I get where you're going, but if you're a Bills fan, you want one thing and one thing only. You've been in pain. You've been mired, frustrated, in agony for a long time with the Bills. It's because of that amazing run, 4 straight Super Bowls, 0 wins, heartbreaking fashion, many of them. And then you've had that game a year ago is insane. Nobody loses that game. And I don't mean this like the scenario by which that happened is absurd. So they're saying, look, Josh, if you have to break your neck for us to win a Super Bowl this year and we never see you again, but we get that ring, that's fine, brother. That's fine. You go break your neck for Buffalo. We will have a statue of you out front. I mean, they just want that Super Bowl. Then you get greedy, Tom.
Right.
Then you think about the years that you're going to be competing with him. But you want to get the one out of the way. Like Kansas City's guy has the right. Super Bowl ring, right? So if Patrick Mahomes never wins another, he got him one. So they're like, okay, well, you run around, Patrick. It's okay. I mean, I'd rather you not get hurt, but we got that one.
I agree with you. If you're going to break your neck, do it for a Super Bowl run.
For a ring.
But you know what? It's not for a ring in week 1. For our entertainment purposes, wonderful.
And for the cover.
Wonderful.
I like the cover.
Well, it was a cover and a half.
Easy cover right there. Yeah. Easy.
Every time the Rams had something going, they would turn somebody loose and it'd be a sack. And those sacks for Stafford aren't, 4 yards. No. Like 11. Drives over.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
Von Miller was nasty last night.
And yes, the stiff arm was hilarious, by the way. That's if you've ever come up to tackle somebody, a big man in particular, a very big man, and realize the moment that, like, it's the moment of truth that you didn't get low enough, it's a toughie. Our first week in pads at FSU, I got run over by a running back. And it was he led the Southern Conference in rushing for a long time, Cersei. He was a senior, and I got run over, and it hurt. And I didn't get low enough, and it's not the first time. It's going to happen if you play football long enough. But there is a terrifying moment where you go and you realize I'm not low enough, and he's a lot bigger than me. This is going to suck.
Well, the thing I appreciated about the game, and I didn't make it through all 4 quarters because it was over pretty early into the 4th quarter, is that everybody ran hard last night. Darrell Henderson had a truck.
Oh, yeah.
Singletary ran hard. Moss ran hard. Of course, we're talking about Josh Allen, and he did. But everybody had a little something to him last night, which I can appreciate because sometimes it's a complete rust fest. And I understand there was some rust in that game. You see all the turnovers in the second quarter, and that's a wacky second quarter.
Yeah.
But I like when people bring it on a given night, and both of the teams did. It's just that one was outclassed by the other.
Old Sassy had a tough night.
He gave up a perfect passer rating.
Old Sassy had a tough night. Sassy.
Yeah.
What are we doing out here? I mean, after a while, even I was kind of like, all right, now, Old Sassy.
A few of them are, what are you going to do?
A few of them are dimes. Yeah. You're just like,
back shoulders.
It's as good as it comes. What are you going to do?
112 off the bat.
Look at Vishal coming in strong on a Libations Friday. Very good to see you again. Thank you very, very much, Vishal. Great to see you as well. And
I'm very briefly at the get-together last week.
I got to talk with him briefly as well.
Oh, you did? Good.
Good. Not long enough. You don't have enough time with everybody. I know I've said it. You've said it. I've heard the staff say it. But sincerely, thank you to everybody who came out. That was incredible. Here we are, the Noles in New Orleans, getting ready to get that win. And people were starving for it, couldn't wait for it. And the get-together at the Howlin' Wolf was fantastic. We'll pick a bigger venue next time. We did not know that people were so hungry for some Florida State football.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't even go in. They're like, what the hell with this?
Well, listen, and that's not the Howlin' Wolf's fault. We just didn't know.
You love us that much?
We booked a place, and they love the Noles that much. But it was – so that situation quickly got out of control. It was like 7 deep, and the place doesn't fit 7
Right.
deep.
It
I'm
fits
sure we broke
comfortably
the
about
fire
70,
code.
80 people, and, you
Yeah.
know, it was 150 at any given
But
time.
here's what's good. Here's what's good. You live and learn, man. And we made the most of it. We had a good time. Everybody did. I talked to a lot of people. Everybody was happy. There were plenty of places to walk around, too, if you didn't want to stay for any long period of time because of how packed it got. Now, I stayed for the shift change and the one after. I stayed all the way through, Tom. And then walked it on down the road over to the what was it, the dirty the something dog, whatever that was. I went there.
Oh, the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the other potential venue.
It was a good place.
Yeah.
They had good food, good beer, good the TVs. Bigger place. We'll know next time. That's fine. We went there. A lot of Noles were there. Saw a lot of Noles there. Then I went to another bar and another one. Then I walked down the street to another bar and I found another bar. And then from there, I got an Uber, went to the casino and gambled. Then I went to another bar.
You hit the casino on Saturday?
Very brief.
God bless you.
Very brief.
I walked up to it and I said, no, this is not going to go well.
Well, you're walking. It's just if you're
it's a
good,
fun town.
You're walking.
I understand why people feel enthused about that particular
I also
town.
understand why you want to get the hell out.
Yeah.
I get that. Like that.
Well, the back-to-back nights.
Well, the day rolls around. You're like, it's time to go. It's time to go. I need to get home. I need to see my wife. I need to lay on that couch. I need to mow the lawn.
We're still
I want
catching
to
our
drink
breath.
a lot of water.
Yeah.
I just want to, yes. That's how that works. That's how that works. All right. So the news of the day. First of all, happy Libations Friday. Lee Sterling will be with us. Paramount Sports did not have a great week for us last week. He went 1-4, but that, hey, it's gambling. We'll see if he bounces back this week. My mom makes her debut this year. Well, her debut for the season. She's been doing this with me for, 15 years. But she'll come on and make her picks against me. I pasted her a year ago. We'll see if she can bounce back. Really humbling experience for her, I'm sure, a year ago. We'll get to those picks again today. That'll be in the next hour. But the story of the day, and Tom and I shot a video for this. If you want to go to Warchant TV, warchant.com and see it. But it's we're going to play. We're going to play a whole segment. You want to play that in the second hour. So, you can just wait. You can be here live with us and be patient. You'll hear it. Either way, we're going to do that. But Florida State made an announcement today that they're going with the all whites, and that includes a white helmet. Really, we've seen the all whites before. Most Florida State fans in the past that I've spoken to have enjoyed the all whites. The difference is they altered the helmet. Now, that is going to upset some of the traditionalists. They're not going to be happy about the icy white, as it's being called, helmet. But I think it's beautiful. I think it's sort of a once in a great while. Throw it out there on the road, white on white on white with the garnet trimming. You'll hear in that video next hour. I think it's absolutely classy and regal.
Me too, buddy.
It accentuates a lot of the great things about the uniform, and so I'm excited about it. And you know what? I lean typically towards the conventional uniform combination, much like Mike Norvell does. The garnet and gold is all I ever really need. I don't need a bunch of different combinations. I like the garnet pants with the white tops or the white pants with the garnet tops. I'm fine with that too. I haven't been a fan of the combinations that they've done with the black uniforms. There's a way to do good black uniforms, but they've never done them here, not in a good way. Well, and they're always ugly, and they alter all the colors with it. It always looks ass.
If you're gonna have the garnet helmet too, you don't have a black background.
No, when they did the Jaguar thing on the back of the helmet and screwed it up,
leave it matte all the way around.
Yes,
that's simple.
Well, they've screwed that up anyhow. They need me to come in there along with you. You and I need to sit down for an hour.
I'm in on that meeting.
I'll tell you what. Mr. Alfred's a good enough guy. He listens to the show.
Our friend Tarif Knockout can come in too.
We could all go in there and sit down and say, here's how it's done, guys. I'm telling you, we have the finger on the pulse. Let's make this happen.
We've been fighting for the true garnet for 8 years now, and it's gotten better. The new reissue is better.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
But it's not there.
It's close. It's closer. Very closer.
But the real
it's
test,
almost there.
So here's the real test: is next Friday under those lights at Louisville. If it looks purple, then we're not done yet. Because remember, that was the venue. I believe it was that game.
You talking about the Jameis game?
Yeah, in 14, when they finally had changed the numbers, they come in when they gone from gold numbers to garnet numbers.
Thank God.
Yeah, because I think we wore the gold numbers at Syracuse as well as our opener.
Hideous.
So they had fixed it by that game, but the problem with those was the numbers were right, and then the shoulder patches were purple. So you had a garnet number with a purple patch.
Well, they butchered them for a good long while. But if you look at them right now, that's a beautiful uniform. I think it's gorgeous. And as a one-off, I mean, I'm not saying you got to do this on the regular. I'm not saying that we should wear it every time we're on the road, although it wouldn't bother me. I like this helmet. I like this uniform. There'll be plenty of people who don't. And when you guys start kind of, sniping at each other on the boards or on Twitter or wherever it is that you snipe on each other, go easy.
Everywhere.
It's a freaking uniform, man. I care. They're not forever altering the classic garnet and gold. They're not going away from
They've already done
forevermore.
that.
Right. Well, they're not going away forevermore from the specialness of Florida State's color combination and uniforms. Routinely Florida State is voted nationally to have a top 5 uniform. I would agree with that sentiment. I think they have the best, or right up there with the best uniform in all the land. But this is a nice little addition. A nice little, hey, how about a little pick-me-up, everybody? Here's a little pick-me-up. That'll make you feel better for today. Just today. Tomorrow we'll go back to the way things were. Here's a little pick-me-up. I like it. It's like a good cup of coffee.
Yeah, I like them.
I do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Crawfordville Auto and Tire. Crawfordville Auto and Tire. Oh, hey there. I was just singing the praises of Crawfordville Auto and Tire. They do just about everything. Complete engine rebuilds, brakes, shocks, tires, oil change, you name it, they do it. And they offer a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty on all parts and labor. Most of the time, they can service your car the same day and offer towing to help you get to the shop. Now that's something to sing about. Open weekdays from 7:30 in the morning until 6 at night. Crawfordville Auto Repair and Tires.
Football at El Jalisco, football at El Jalisco, what a combination. It's a great big celebration. It's football at El Jalisco. I can dig it. Who's playing? Oh, man, everybody. The ACC, the SEC, all the C's, and even the pros. The Bucks, the Steelers, the Giants, the Cowboys. Wow, far out. You bet, man. When the game is on, it's on at El Jalisco with incredible specials on everything from frosty cervezas to salty margaritas. Does Margarita know? Dios mío, not again. The best place to watch the game is El Jalisco. College, pros, Monday night, Thursday night, you name it, El Jalisco is football headquarters. And with 5 Tallahassee area locations, there's probably an El Jalisco right around the corner right now.
The weather is unpredictable and can cause issues around your home. Weston Trawick provides commercial, residential, and industrial electrical wiring services, yearly inspections on fire alarms, portable generator sales, and so much more. With 24/7 emergency service and repair, Weston Trawick will be your calm in the storm. Give them a call at 514-0003. Weston Trawick. Professional electrical services day or night. Visit online at westontrawick.com.
Are you prepared for more severe food shortages? It's likely that over the next year, serious food shortages will plague us. American farmers are dealing with insane diesel fuel prices and fertilizer shortages, which will lower crop yields. And that means your family's favorite foods will soon be in short supply while fetching sky-high prices. Inflation is the new normal, folks. It's time to act before things get even worse. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com without delay. You'll find ready-hour emergency food kits from My Patriot Supply that last up to 25 years in storage. Each kit provides over 2,000 calories a day to keep your energy up. Order your emergency food kits today by going to MyPatriotSupply.com. Your food ships fast and arrives in unmarked boxes. Listen, there are ways to beat food shortages. When you're ready for real preparedness, make sure to look for ready-hour foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now. MyPatriotSupply.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results? Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness.
Before we get to him, a reminder that if you can hear this right now and you or someone that you know is active military, perhaps a veteran, a police officer, a firefighter, a nurse, or a teacher, listen up. Good news for you, provided by my friend Shannon with Legendary Home Loans. They have a hometown hero program designed to make a difference to those who make a difference in their communities. When it's time to buy a new home, he's going to waive all lender fees for all hometown heroes. That's over $1,600 in savings right out the gate. And if you decide to use their preferred title company for the closing, you save another $600. So now we're up over $2,200 in discounts right off the top. That's a good thing. And look, it's important. You know, we're all trying to save some money around here. Everybody is, wherever you can. So if you or someone you know is active military, a veteran, police officer, firefighter, nurse, or school teacher, and you're looking to buy a new home, choose Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans and ask about their Hometown Heroes program. All you got to do is call 844-FSU-LOAN. That is 844-FSU-LOAN. Or just visit FSUHomeLoans.com. That's FSUHomeLoans.com. Hey, Tom, do you ever watch? I plowed through these. You're not going to be shocked to find this out. But on Netflix, they have the series I Am a Killer.
Oh, yeah.
They just released their third.
Did you get targeted ads for that?
I'm sure.
On your Instagram and Twitter and everywhere?
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's the third season that they just had. Real life killers being interviewed in prison who own up to their crimes. But there's a twist usually. There's a little something there that you're like, oh.
I thought I did it, but I never did.
No, they all did it. They're all guilty.
Okay.
Nobody denies doing it.
It's not an American Psycho.
No,
what really happened?
It's a straight down interview where they're just sitting there talking, well, then I shot him in the face. And you're like, okay, he shot him in the face.
How did you come away from American Psycho? It was all in his head? Or do you think that the director's just having fun with you?
I think the director's having fun with you.
Okay.
You think it's all in his head?
It is nebulous.
It's interesting. No, that said, I think that watching this is just it's a good watch. It's just a suggestion for anybody who's into that sort of thing because it's nuanced. It's not like the emphasis isn't on necessarily the crime, but rather what led up to the crime, the justice system, and then both the victim's family as well as the perpetrator's family. So you see all sides of that situation, and sometimes you're kind of left undecided. Most of these guys are doing life in prison and or are on death row. And so you're watching it and you're like, okay, obviously a bad guy. That's terrible. Crime, got to be punished. There's never most of the time, there's not wiggle room. You're not like,
Sounds
they
like
shouldn't be in there.
A real life dead man walking. I'm not sure how to feel about Matthew Poncelet.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating because they do a good job of setting it up. Like you see the crime and you're like, well, screw this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's got to go. And we circle back. Like, well, how did we get here? What happened on that fateful day that led us to this situation? And then you get into a lot of other facts. It's fascinating. Just a weekend suggestion, little light viewing. And I'm addicted to it. I've plowed through. I saw the first two seasons, and anyhow, the third season is out now. People are always asking me on here, music, movies, things I'm watching, documentaries, whatever it might be. Well, I'm watching I Am a Killer. That's what I'm watching. And soon I'll be talking to Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports to get some wagers in here. And this is a big week for all of us. I always like the second week more than I like the first week. Now, the first week as a fan, I'm more excited because it's the return of the sport we're also passionate about. And you know that from that point forward, it's going to be in your life for several months. And you can rest easy that your off-season nightmare is over and football is back. But in terms of educating yourself about a team or teams or players or weaknesses and strengths, week 2 is a little bit easier to navigate. And as a bettor, I rather enjoy week 2 because you get all the overreactions and you can take advantage of that, and all of that's there. Let's talk about it right now with our friend Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. Lee, how are you, brother?
I was good up until Saturday. And then, I was sitting like 17-5. I'm rolling along, and then had a 2-5 Saturday. Had some misreads, lost a couple close games, and when things aren't going well, you're going to have those things happen. But feel pretty good. Think I might have learned my lesson, especially about. Your Seminoles. I did not play the game, but let me tell you something. They were much better coached than last year.
Oh yeah,
is that one of the biggest things that you saw?
Well, they've got better players to work with too. He's been steady trying to infuse more talent and more depth. And I think you're seeing now some of that play out. They have more options, Lee. Last year, they didn't have a drop-back passing game whatsoever.
Right.
And now
they've got that now. But I just saw players, you know what? They were in the right position.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what to do.
Right.
Outside, what did LSU do? Their quarterback scrambled.
He ran around, yeah.
He just ran around. That's all he did.
Yeah. No, it's exciting for all of us because, Lee, we've been going to these practices. We went to every practice, and I've been trying to tell my listeners, and we all have, hey, they're getting better. They're getting better. I'm not telling you they're a juggernaut, but they're a lot better. Right. But then you don't know until you get into a game. You need context. You need to see them against real athletes, and LSU has athletes. So that was good to see.
Yeah, and conversely, LSU looked like Florida State.
Yeah,
a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what happens when you come over into a toxic situation and you got to flip a locker room. Kelly's got a lot of work to do, Well,
and then look at let's look at all three schools quickly.
Yeah.
Things are on the positive, all three schools. We might finally be able to close the door to pretty much everyone except for, the teams like Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia. And if that happens, all three schools can be really good again.
Well, we both remember, Lee, and a lot of my listeners certainly remember a time where this state not only was great, but pretty much ruled college football. And in addition to that, the matchups between Florida State, Miami, and Florida State, Florida, and Florida every now and again against Miami. But, those three teams, those were wars all the time because the recruits stayed in the state, which is what you're talking about. Yeah. I know, but none of us have been good enough in a long time to keep that from happening. So let's see. Florida dodges a bullet there down there on the 2. They're favored this week against Kentucky by 4.5. I think it's a good game. Give us your pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if Chris Rodriguez plays in this game, they would have had a better chance because they got to run the ball. They got to control the ball. You got to keep Anthony Richardson off the field as much as possible. But they only ran for 50 yards last week against Miami of Ohio here, and I'm watching this Kentucky offense, and except for a couple big plays from Levis to Virginia Tech transfer wide receiver Tavion Robinson, they just don't have much. So they're going to have to do it with special teams and defense, and it's going to be tough against Anthony Richardson. I'm excited to see how teams are going to play him. Whether they go with a spy, do you rush 3 more often? Do you maybe rush 5 or 6 and make him release the ball and move your coverage up a lot, which we used to see someone like BYU used to do that back in the day. So that's going to be fun to watch. But the Swamp with Anthony Richardson is going to be a tough place to win in 2022 for visitors. I'm going to keep riding Florida. That atmosphere was incredible, 27-20.
Alabama will be more than a 20.5-point favorite in most of the games that they play this year. So if you love Bama, and there's a lot to love, then you're going to want to play the minus 20.5 against Texas. Is Texas better? Are they at a place where they can get into a shootout and cover that number?
You know what? I don't think they can. afford to get into a shootout. I mean, they got to play solid defense, in my opinion, to have a chance to stay in this game. And I looked at all 7 of their starters that came back from last year. I don't think they have many difference makers. I'm not just talking about guys that sack the quarterback. I'm talking about guys when it's 3rd and 2. Do they have a defensive lineman who can stuff the run? Do they have a linebacker 3rd and 5 when he's covering a running back out of the backfield? Can he make a stop before the sticks? And I just don't see many of those guys here. I don't know if maybe 1 or 2 guys from Texas's defense would start on Alabama. And then Texas, when they want to score, Quinn Ewers, he was sacked 3 times last week against Louisiana Monroe. How bad is Monroe? I have them power rated as the 2nd worst team in the country behind Hawaii. In fact, they're only favored, Louisiana Monroe is this week, by 4 points against Nichols. So they got some real problems here. I think Texas is at least 2 years away. I know you hear them every year. They got all these great recruits, but I just think they're evaluating some kids wrong and not coaching them up enough. And also Alabama lost to A&M on the road. I think their battle cry every time they get on that plane to travel is we are not going to lose again on the road. They're going to want to send a message here to Texas that if when you come to the SEC, this is what it's going to look like in a couple of years. I'm going to say roll Tide, 48-21.
Yeah, I too took the Tide to cover there. This game last year, Tennessee lost at home to Pitt. It was a wild game. They're given 6.5 here. I thought Pitt's defense would look better than they did in week 1, but I also thought they controlled a lot of the action against West Virginia and tried to find a way to lose. It's a weird game. They did win. Your thoughts on that matchup, Tennessee minus 6.5 in Pitt?
So I remember the game, I mean, like it was yesterday. So I'm thinking, Tennessee might win this game, but they just kept turning the ball over. -3 in turnover ratio. It was Josh Heupel's 2nd game. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The head coach for Tennessee. Who was the quarterback until mid-second quarter or late second quarter? Joe Milton. Never to be heard from again. So Hendon Hooker took the reins and just ran with it. He looks like he's in mid-season form. And who was the quarterback for Pitt? Kenny Pickett that game. And he was flawless, put up 41 points in that game. Now, Kenan Slovis, I don't think the guy's anything special at all. And they had come off playing a West Virginia team. Now, what do? West Virginia, they wait until the last second or two to snap the ball. Bottom 5 as far as
tempo,
plays off. Yeah. And Tennessee, they play at warp speed here. I think Tennessee boat races Pitt 41-28.
41-28. Look at that. The Dolphins have expectations. I think people are excited to see the Dolphins play this year. Not like Super Bowl aspirations, but people believe Miami's going to take a step forward. Well, they get to face the Patriots, who are on their own planet right now with what they're doing with play calling and everything else. And the only way they get away with it is because it's Bill Belichick. They look like a train wreck to me. The Dolphins are giving points against the Patriots. Who you like?
So I'm watching the preseason. You don't get to see many first-team snaps in the preseason, but they had 7 series with the first team, and they had 4 3-and-outs, and one of those other series was a turnover. And I'm saying, this just looks bad. And I have 2 friends who work in the press that cover the Raiders on a consistent basis. They went to the 2 practices when New England played the Raiders, and both of them, the first thing they said, I get on the phone with them, they're like, oh my God, New England's terrible. And we're hearing reports it's just not going well. Josh McDaniels stepped down, left as the coordinator. Who do they bring in? Matt Patricia? This guy was a defensive coordinator and a failed head coach. Joe Judge, special teams guy, failed head coach. These are the 2 guys you're entrusting to run this offense, and they still don't have receivers. I think Miami made some great acquisitions, bringing in Hill, receiver, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert at running back, 2 strong offensive linemen that aren't going to make mistakes here. And the Patriots never do well in Miami. Even when they win, they have trouble covering. The Dolphins have covered 8 of the last 10 times when hosting the Patriots. I like the Dolphins 30-20.
I think the Patriots are going to stink too. We're so conditioned to believe they'll be good because of Belichick and Brady, but I don't see it. All right, the Cowboys have never beaten the aforementioned Tom Brady. They'll get their shot against the Bucs, who a lot of people, and myself included as a Bucs fan, kind of have a raised eyebrow towards. I'm uncertain with this offensive line. Tom had a unique offseason, to say the least. Bucks give it 1.5. There's a lot of talent there. I don't know how good the Bucks are going to be this year. I think they're a bit of a mystery. Talk to me.
Yeah, as many holes as Dallas has, obviously at left tackle without Smith, and at wide receiver for at least the first couple weeks, I think Tampa Bay has more question marks. I mean, I can't remember a team that lost 3 offensive linemen, then all of a sudden goes or wins the Super Bowl. So I think it's a real problem here, and I think Dallas, there's no high expectations. I think they get the job done, win 28-24.
I like it. 28-24. Your game of the week, Saints -5.5 against the Falcons. And how can folks get the game, Lee?
Yeah, just go to ParamountSports.com. Got a lot going on. 3 weeks, $297. Or you can get this. How about the UFC? Have a big play there. So everything's up and available right now. ParamountSports.com.
Be good, brother. Enjoy the football. I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good.
All right. It's Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. I don't know if his phone was going in and out there at the end.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It sounded like maybe he had another market to go hit or something. Yeah. Because when he said, "How about this?" I was like, "Come on, Lee, lay it on."
Yeah. Give us the.
It was the spiel.
Well, we get November in November.
That's right.
Do we get Locktober? What do we get?
It's not October. It's Locktober.
So we don't really
get abandoned the Great Pumpkin Shootout, but usually he uses the Baker's Dozen pretty early in the season. So I didn't know if it was that.
I missed the the Baker's Dozen's a good one. But
maybe he had a week 1 showstopper 40-unit play. I mean, something. The Great Pumpkin Shootout. He has yet to bring it back. He only used it one time.
Broke your heart when he didn't use it. Yeah.
It's been about 6-7 years.
Oh, really? I thought it was 2 or 3.
No, it's been a lot of years.
Tom's hurting over here, guys.
Only Brad Johnson has hurt me more.
I got to reach out to my boy, Brad. I should reach out to Brad. He'd come on. Brad's a great guy. Maybe I can even coax an apology from him to you.
Well, I mean, only if he means it.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Governor DeSantis announced Thursday that flags in Florida will be flown at half-staff in honor of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This followed a proclamation from President Joe Biden stating that flags shall be flown at half-staff at the White House and upon all public buildings and grounds, at all military posts and naval stations, and on all naval vessels and possessions until sunset on the day of interment. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II passed away Thursday at the age of 96. Her 70-year reign was the longest of any monarch in the United Kingdom. Taylor County is bracing for potential flooding this weekend. The county set up sandbag stations in Perry and Steinhatchee to prepare for heavy rainfall. Residents should expect minor to moderate flooding over the next few days. The areas most at risk of flooding are homes along the Steinhatchee River. The bags are free and can be found at 2 locations in Taylor County: the Steinhatchee roll-off site at 29649 Beach Road and the Taylor County Road Department at 587 Highway 27. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. Highs around 82. East winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms likely tonight. Lows dip down to about 72. Cloudy skies expected. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 83. Overcast. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 79.
Sellers Tile does it better for business owners, contractors, designers, and homeowners. Better design ideas, better quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring, better mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions. And Sellers makes it easier with their amazing showroom and first-class professionals. Maybe it's time to get Sellers working for you on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com for better style, quality, and design. Go with Sellers in Tallahassee. Call 656-8453.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Florida's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
There's a TikTok that's going viral because of a butter softening method. They are putting the Vermont Creamery butter in the waistband of her pants. Give it 5 minutes. You can go and measure out your ingredients, and then your butter is ready to go. You cannot do this in Florida.
No.
Because your pants will be full of butter in 2 minutes. Somebody try it. Post on TikTok. Tag.
Unless it says juicy across the back.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news.
Good band, great band.
So I guess no music there. We'll try
What
again
is
next
going
segment.
on, people? Thank you so much, Z-Chan. Good Lord.
And it's for a request. He's just requesting something.
He wants a comprehensive list of the weekly live events on Warchant TV posted to the forum every Monday. Woo! Pretty please, good Noles. Now we're just cranking.
Well, he gets all kinds of stuff for $100 bones.
Oh,
you get all weird.
You get
weird
everything
sounds.
you want.
Yeah. What sound do you want?
Thank you as well, Eric. I'll circle back and answer Z-Chan's question in a second. Eric is participating in the Libations Friday. Likes the white-on-white uniforms. Think they're going to look sweet.
You're correct, Eric. They will.
Yeah, I agree. And no, Jalen Ramsey and the Rams did not look good last night. That's correct. They did not.
We had another contribution way back when saying, why doesn't Jalen Ramsey acknowledge Florida State? He does, just not during his player introduction. He live tweeted during the game.
What?
He live tweeted during our win over LSU.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant during last night's game while he was being torched.
Yeah, just fire emojis.
Well, I was like, what are we doing out here, Jalen?
Fire
exactly
dead.
a great game.
Yeah, just a skull and crossbones 6 times.
Yeah.
No, he was live tweeting saying, woo, go Noles.
Yeah. You know what I think is interesting? This is a phenomenon that's not unique to Florida State. I want to note this. A lot of fan bases, and I understand it, when they watch their favorite player or a player from their respective school on a Sunday night introduction or a Monday night introduction or whatever it might be, right, for football, if the player does not expressly state that they played at that school, people immediately think that there is some sort of acrimony between the player and the institution. Now, when a guy goes out of his way to not only never mention Florida State, let's say, and I'm not saying Ramsey does this, but when a player never mentions the school ever and then goes out of his way to talk about a junior college they once attended for a year,
right,
or perhaps their high school, I can see where you'd be like, now what gives, man?
Well,
what gives?
Dalvin does that too he talks about his high school or his junior high, but then he reps Florida State stuff and he tweets it. So, it's just RPT is his dad's training thing. He's trying to give his dad a free plug. So that's why he says RPT.
Yeah, well, I didn't see the introduction last night, so I didn't know what he
says
said.
RPT.
Yeah, he typically does.
Ramsey Performance Training.
Yes.
There you go. Another plug for you.
He and his brother both went there, and his dad coaches it.
But he was featured on FSU's football Twitter yesterday.
No, I got no beef with his passion for Florida
overblown.
State. It's just, but the thing is, people do get very, very touchy. Because look, man, college football is tribalism at its best. I mean, people get very, very angry about these things, and they all belong to a group. We all belong to anyway. Hey, what are you doing? You're part of our group. Can't be out here willy-nilly repping other groups. That's not what you do. This is our tribe. You get mad. And sometimes it's warranted. There have been players who've gone out of their way to be a-holes. And I'm like, all right, then. There's one that's very, very famous that has very little to do with FSU. One might say even sabotages on occasion.
Sure.
FSU.
It's not a 1-to-1 ratio between those two defensive backs.
You don't think?
Yeah. And also Derwin James, because Jalen tagged Derwin on Sunday about the win. There is nobody who champions Florida State more than Derwin James.
My man,
Jermaine Johnson is in the running, but Derwin has been nonstop, even through the doldrums of the last 5 years.
Yeah. So anyhow, that happens all the time. What are you gonna do?
Bonus points to Eric for saying he's going to be at CP for the NFL games on Sunday, Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. And then Z-Chan, yeah, we'll set one up.
Well, and sometimes
we'll fix it. I mean, it's been weird. We've got a Sunday and a bye week and then a Friday. I just look forward to when we get into Saturdays and you say, all right, every Saturday, here's the rundown.
I'll also make mention that some things are impromptu. If we, like today, when we found out FSU was going to make the announcement, then that we didn't know that was coming down the pike until the day of. So when that happened, I'm like, all right, well, what are you going to do? You know, we jumped on board and got after it and had a lot of fun with it. NFL game. Well, listen, this weekend is sneaky good, especially because we're all, as Noles, speaking of tribalism, taking the weekend off, baby. We got nothing. We got nothing but an opportunity to be fans, to watch Kentucky and Florida and Oklahoma State and Arizona State, and to watch USC and Stanford. Maybe this guy's watching Tulsa giving the 6 to Northern Illinois. That just could be me. I don't know. How about a little Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern time, Iowa State? If you don't like points, that game's for you. I mean, you're all set. There it is.
Did I hear you casually drop in a Tulsa again?
I'll drop in a nooner on Saturday. Army UTSA. They kick it off at noon. This guy's locked in to a little Army UTSA.
That's a reminder of your slate on Thursday, the menu. Because both of those games, I believe you did post both of them. You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Did you also note that Alabama and Texas is at noon?
Yeah.
That's kind of odd to me that that's a noon game, but
it is a sleepy nooner. That's what that's going to be.
Let's get it on. Yeah, the Longhorns obviously have much higher expectations this year, and we'll see. I mean, Quentin Ewers along with Bijan Robinson. I love Bijan Robinson. I don't think he's going to have any running room in this game. And if you can't run, then Quinn is going to have a long damn day.
The emotions of it, though, for the first quarter. I mean, you could see Texas up 10-7 or 7-3 or something like that.
And then the wear and tear of greatness.
Yeah.
The Bama table takes hold somewhere mid-second quarter, and we're done talking here.
Well, you need some fumble luck in this game. Because then that could get you to halftime.
Well, I don't need him to get to halftime. I need him to be down 70 to nothing in the second quarter.
You don't have Alabama first half. Are you doing that again this year?
I will always bet Alabama first half until Nick Saban's dead.
Okay. Now that's news.
Alabama just clubs people. It is criminal what they do to people. It is. Now, you're going to lose occasionally, but if you take Bama first half in every game, well, listen, just monitor the numbers, because what ends up happening is Vegas 3 years ago, when we won every single game we bet on Alabama in the first half.
There's a local bartender here who now works at a different place, but he was corner pocket. He said, thanks for the tip on Bama first half.
That year, they won every one until I think the last week.
Yeah.
So they won
Iron Bowl. Yeah, that was it.
They won every single first half. And I figured it out in week 3. I was like, oh, this is impenetrable. They're going to cover the first half of every, because Nick's whole thing is he wants to get everybody out of the game. So they're going to beat people's ass, just club you, step on your neck, and then bring in the second string. Well, the problem is the second string's really good too, so they're likely to get the cover, but you can get backdoored with that second and third string in there. But that first half is all starters, and it's a whole bunch of whooping about the head and neck. It's just ugly.
Was that punch, slap, punch?
Yeah, it was just whatever we want to do. That's how they treat people.
Little backhand
slappy. There's
slappy?
backhand in there. There's open hand in there. There's a lot of disrespect.
That feels like what would happen to Tom, the cat, when the dog would come around. I forget the dog's name.
Yeah.
The dog.
Yeah.
Also, Foghorn Leghorn would do that too.
Oh, the best. Yeah.
This big, strong country hands.
Yeah. Or he'd get a board and whoop his ass. Yeah. No, that was. That's what Bama does to people. So I bet it all the time.
Bama is Foghorn Leghorn. The accent's not perfect, but it's close enough.
I'm tired of it though. I mean, it's just so brutal to watch what they do to real programs. Like I listen, as far as we've come, as far as Florida State has come, I mean, if Bama was given 24 in the first half against Florida State, would you give it?
If Bama was giving 24 in the first half against Florida State.
These two teams as they are currently comprised.
Actually, no, I wouldn't. and I'm proud to say that, because what I saw to this defensive line, assuming Fabian's playing, Fabian's got to be on the field.
Of course, yes.
I think they can hold it within 24.5, because Florida State has shown already through one game against Power 5 competition that we can play ball control, right? That matters. Every first down is a key to getting to halftime down 24 points or fewer, 23.5 or fewer. So if we're going to play, we're not going to play Alabama with tempo. We're not going to bang our head against the wall like we're Chip Kelly. But that's the point. That's a multiplier that makes the cover of 24 a greater likelihood. So Mike understands that I need to hold the football. I like that in a minus 24.5 situation.
In one half.
Yeah.
The game, that 24 is easily covered by Bama.
Were you saying the game or the first half?
No, I'm just saying the first half, you're right. I
feel good about that.
But the game, I'm giving the 24.
24, probably.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Trying to block them for 4 quarters?
I understand.
No.
They're better than we are. But they're not 24 points better in a half.
Well, the fact that we're
that's progress, baby.
The fact that we're unsure.
I feel pretty good about that.
The fact that we're a little unsure.
Let's play it.
Let's pick some NFL games. I got to get out to a good start. Hold up my championship trophy as my mom joins us next on the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Imagine for a moment that you are completely weightless with zero gravity. All of your worries and stress melt away. Your mind stops racing and you fall into a profound state of pure relaxation. This is available to you right now at Tallulah Delta 8 Plus Floating in Railroad Square for just $50. These state-of-the-art floating pods are unlike anything else you've ever experienced, and while you're there, you can shop for some of the latest and greatest CBD and Delta 8 products on the market. Natural pain management, stress relief, and better sleep are all at your fingertips at Tallulah. Tell them Jeff Cameron sent you, and thank me later.
Hey, Greg Tish here. Here's something you may or may not know about me, but I have never drank a cup of coffee in my life. Well, until now. So why change now? Well, my dear friend at Grassroots Coffee reached out to me after he heard me say that I don't drink coffee and insisted that I give his product a try. And let me tell you, I've been making a huge mistake. The world of coffee is fascinating. I always thought, well, coffee is coffee, but no, it's not at all. Grassroots Coffee has sent me some of their blends to try, and now their Bean Me Up Scotty blend is in our studio. I've got a mug, a hat, and a fascination with learning more about how these guys are making the best coffee in our area. And it's all roasted and bagged right up the road in Thomasville. Order yours now. Just go to grassrootscoffee.com and choose what you want. Join me and let's step up our coffee game together and also support a great local business.
Hi, folks. William Barnum Floyd here. A wise person once said that those we love don't go away. They live in our hearts and walk beside us every day. Well, my dear friend Chris Kraft of the Kraft Brothers dealership and his lovely wife Kelly are showing their love for their oldest child, Chris Jr., who they lost to epilepsy this year at the young age of 36. They put together a fundraiser Friday, September 9th in honor of Chris Jr. It's lovingly titled A Night to Remember. The dinner is sold out, yet you can still donate. There's going to be an auction, everything from Napa Valley tours to signed guitars from Even Stevens, the singer-songwriter who composed numerous hits, including When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman. It's easy to help. The Epilepsy Alliance of Florida has set up a site for you to donate or pre-register for the auction. Go to www.epilepsyalliancefl.com/donate to Chris Kraft Jr. That's epilepsyalliancefl.com/donate to Chris Kraft Jr. With research and medical advances, the Crafts hope we can eliminate epilepsy and the pain it brings, and they thank you in advance for your contribution.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. King Charles III says he's prepared for his new role.
I have been brought up to cherish a sense of duty to others.
and to hold in the greatest respect the precious traditions, freedoms, and responsibilities of our unique history and our system of parliamentary government.
The king has made his first address to Britain and the Commonwealth as monarch. He became king on Thursday after the death of Queen Elizabeth. He says his mother was a remarkable queen.
We owe her heartfelt debt any family could owe to their mother for her love, affection, guidance, understanding, and example.
Meanwhile, Queen Elizabeth's coffin will be brought to London, where she is expected to lie in state before a funeral at Westminster Abbey, expected around September 19th. Also at townhall.com, Republicans say the president's divisive speech last week shows that he and his party are desperate heading into the midterm election.
Show 93.3 Real Talk.
That report.
Former Missouri Senator Jim Talent says when he watched the speech,
I was astounded on every level.
He says the president appeared determined to sow seeds of deep division.
I mean, when did we see this before?
Talent tells the Salem Radio Network, it's clear the Democrats are struggling and have two main goals heading into November, including shoring up their own base.
So you shouldn't have to take these measures. And the other is to shift attention away from all the issues which the voters say are the most important.
Talent says those include inflation, crime, and troubles at the border. Bob Agnew reporting.
Stocks are sharply higher on Wall Street, keeping the market on track to break a 3-week losing streak. The Dow is ahead 380 points, the NASDAQ up 240. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The first conscious act in organizing our people is to let them know who they are.
From executive producer Larry Elder and director Justin Malone.
If you're a business owner of any kind, you need advanced fire protection services. We are AFPS, and we provide high-quality life safety services throughout Northwest Florida, and we've been doing it since 1989. With offices now in Tallahassee, fire sprinklers, fire alarms, fire extinguishers, hood suppression systems, and emergency exit lights. For all of your life safety equipment, we've got you covered 24/7. We are Advanced Fire Protection Services. For a free life safety system evaluation, visit WeSaveLives.com. That's WeSaveLives.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2.
With us, appreciate you being patient. For those watching on the feed, obviously this is a radio program, so you get a lot of commercials during the feed, but hey, there's nothing I can do about that. We're here, we're good, we're back to go. On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. Appreciate that as well. In mere moments, we'll be joined by my mom. I got to tell you, Tom, I know for a fact that my mom had Buffalo last night because I remembered to call her and tell her, hey, I'm taking Buffalo. She said, me too. So we both had the Bills, and Josh Allen did his thing, and 31-10 later, we're both 1-0 to start the young season. By the way, if you had Cooper Kupp last night, at least you got yours. 128, touchdown as well.
And that catch in the back of the end zone.
He's good, man.
Man, 3 feet down.
Sometimes I think they're freelancing. I feel like when I watch Cooper Kupp, I'm like, he's just kind of doing his thing. They've got a good rapport. It's good if you're a fantasy owner of Cooper Kupp because they may not win nearly as many games this year, but he's going to get his. People cannot seem to stop that guy. All right, Mama, let's do this thing now. Obviously, a year ago, you got dominated by me, and you can't have that happen again, Mom.
And now for another edition of the Family
I forgot.
Nick.
Tony, you're wrong! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
Now I can say that. Now I can say, Mom, you can't have that happen to you again. Sorry about that. How are you?
No, I thought it was me screwing up. But anyway, yes, I know that. I absolutely cannot let that happen. At least, well, I'm 1-0 now, so.
Yeah, well, we both are. We're both 1-0, so nobody's up on anybody yet. Let's see if we can get this slate underway, and hopefully you'll get off to a bad start.
I'm not getting off to a bad start, but I tell you what, some of these, I had to go, in the beginning, I haven't been in football mode here now for a few months, and so I had to really go back and do my research. I know people probably don't think I do, but I had to figure out and make sure I knew where quarterbacks were and who was where, but that game last night, I have to just say, Josh Allen is something, isn't he?
Yeah, I know. He just affirms what we already knew. He came on last year in a way that saw him move to the top of the heap in terms of quarterbacks. He and about 3 other guys are the creme de la creme of the league.
I know. That stiff arm last night was one of my favorite play almost in the whole game.
Yeah.
Like he just said here, no way.
Yeah, that poor young man got bitched going over to the sideline there. That was a toughie.
God, that was the best. I loved it. And I'm not a big fan of the Rams, so I was very happy to see lovely Sean McVay having a tizzy over on the side.
All right, here we go, Mom. NFC South is going to lead the way. Saints at Falcons, 1:00, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm taking New Orleans. I don't know. Atlanta, the only thing they had was their quarterback, and now they don't have him.
Yeah, no, they stink. You're right. Good pick. San Francisco at Chicago. That game, Soldier Field in Chicago, 1:00.
I'm taking San Fran.
Me too. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. My man Joe Burrow hosting the Steelers. That game in Cincinnati.
I'm taking Cincinnati.
Me too. Philadelphia at Detroit's our first game that I think might have some intrigue in terms of maybe you and I disagreeing. I'm not sure. Eagles are favored, of course, at Detroit. I think Detroit's going to be a little bit better this year than they've been in recent memory. Games at Ford Field in Detroit.
I know. I think you're right, but I took Philadelphia. Now we'll see. I have to watch them play and see what I think. But I'm taking Philadelphia as the first game.
Yeah, I did too. Barely. I really wrestled with the game.
I have 2 or 3 of those wrestling things here.
Well, let's see what you did with New England at Miami.
Oh no! You know what? I'm taking Miami. Now this used to be a foregone conclusion. You just took New England every week. But I don't know about New England this year, and I think Miami is going to be a lot better.
You and I agree. You are paying attention.
See there, your mother is doing her research.
Yeah, Baltimore is at the Jets, and I know you think that the Jets coach is a handsome man, but that may not be enough for you to pick him.
No, I don't know if he's handsome, but I do like him, and I like his story. But anyway, he's all right. I don't want to insult him on the radio, but I like him very much. But I took Baltimore.
Fair enough. Jacksonville is at Washington. Not a game I'll be watching.
No, I know it. I'm taking the Commanders.
Yeah, me too. That's not hard. Cleveland's at Carolina.
Now this game is an interesting game with
Baker Mayfield, yes.
Baker Mayfield coming back to his old team. I kind of like Carolina in this game. I'm taking them.
I'll take Cleveland on the road to get the win, and I don't think much of Baker Mayfield, and still don't. Indianapolis at Houston, not as a professional quarterback. Indianapolis at Houston.
Indianapolis at Houston. Yeah, I'm taking Indy.
It's a no-brainer. Giants at Tennessee.
Oh, the Giants. I'm taking Tennessee.
Yeah, your favorite player in the league.
I know. Oh my God, I know. I can't wait to see him. I love to watch him run the ball.
So Derrick Henry, I worry, is going to take a step back this year. He's taken a beating. He's starting to get up there in age for a running back. But I hope, for your sake and mine in one of my fantasy leagues, that he has one more great season in him. Let's hope.
I know. Me too. Oh yeah. I like him very much. I don't want to see him go downhill. That's a shame. But anyway, I'm picking him.
Yeah, Green Bay at Minnesota. Good game.
It is a good game, but I'm concerned, and I've gotten off my Green Bay bandwagon. I'm taking Minnesota.
Me too. We're both, yeah.
I'm thinking he only had one receiver. The next guy went, where'd he go?
The Raiders. He went to the Raiders.
Oh, holy smokes, the Raiders. Yeah, I'm taking Minnesota.
Kansas City's at Arizona.
I'm taking Kansas City.
Vegas is at the Chargers.
Yeah, now that game, I think that could be a good game too. But the Chargers, that's got Justin Herbert, right?
Yeah.
I like Vegas, but I'm taking the Chargers.
Me too. Man, we cannot get a difference here. All right.
Oh man, well we got one.
We have one so far. Tampa Bay at Dallas.
All right, now this game, I am a nervous wreck about this game, and until I see if the line can protect Tom, I am very concerned. But I'm going to pick Tampa Bay in this first game, and then if I am, if it's not a good showing, I will have to rethink. But I'm taking Tampa Bay.
You're very concerned, but not concerned enough to pick against them.
I'm not picking against them the first game. Now I just can't do it. I think they're going to be all right, and I think those guys. I'm sure Tom has had a come to Jesus meeting with that line, because if he goes down, we are in a world of hurt.
Yeah, I'll take Dallas.
Okay.
There you go.
I kind of thought you might.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. That's all right.
I hope you're wrong too.
Yeah, they're not an elite team, but I don't think Tampa is this year either. Denver at Seattle for Monday night.
Yeah, and that's something. I'm going to take Denver.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that Seattle's got anything either.
They don't.
I think Russell Wilson will have something to prove.
You are correct. All right, so we have two different, Mom. There it is. We've got two. I've got the Cowboys. You got the Bucks. And then I took Cleveland to go on the road and beat Carolina.
Yeah, I know it. That's gonna. Well, and I like Cleveland. They're one of my teams that I've liked from way back in the Jim Brown era, which just shows you how old I am. But I'm picking Carolina. We'll see.
All right, Mama. I love you. Be well.
I love you too. Let's go have a good season.
Yep, we will. It'll be fun. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, have a good weekend.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, all right. She was up to snuff.
Yeah, there were a couple of traps in there. She didn't fall for them. And she's playing Tampa with her heart, clearly. But it could be a winner. It could be. You could see people talking on Monday about, the Cowboys have blown it again.
Thank you, Z-Chan. My goodness gracious. I should give my mom that money. Turn
it into a Christmas present.
Yeah. So here's the thing, real quick on this subject. And I appreciate you, Z-Chan. Listen, this could look. We don't know. I mean, this early in the season, it could be very interesting. Yeah, Mama's got to flip the culture. Just needs to flip the culture to get back into this betting. That was a tough year for her last year. This thing was over pretty early. Now let's see. I could easily lose both the games this weekend. I'm not sass mouthing.
Aaron wins so far.
Sass mouthing Mom about to get the smoke.
You're about to catch it.
Sass mouthing. I got to give my mom credit. When I started playing football, she's the one who took me to play football. I've told that story. But one of the things that, at an early age, right? So I'm playing football. I remember probably a week in, I get in the car and I had a tough practice. And I got in the car and she asked me a question. And I think I must have been 12 or 13. And I dropped an F-bomb about the practice. And she didn't blink. Didn't even blink. Just looked at me, nodded. Okay, all right. Well, it'll be a better day tomorrow. And we just kept driving. I was like, at the time.
And it was at that moment that you went downhill in terms of language ever since.
Yeah. No, I've always cursed like a sailor. But the oddity is She never like winced. There was never any recoil, no flinching. I mean, she raised boys. So I think it was just sort of like, Jeff just came off the practice field. He's got a deep thigh contusion, dropped an F-bomb. It's football. It's what happens.
Juxtapose that against Tom and his freshman year of high school. Pocket dialing mom from when he got dropped off.
And then she heard the conversation of juveniles who were being delinquent.
Pocket dial with a flip phone that had the numbers inside the flip, and it was closed. The most unlucky damn thing. I think it hit the green button twice, which was previous call.
Please tell me that you were just using filthy language in general and not
yes,
being
that's correct.
descriptive in ways that young boys are.
It was no.
Nothing like that.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Very thankful.
Right, correct.
Could have been worse.
Well, that's like a relationship altering.
I got in the car. Well, you know this.
Yeah.
I mean, you were there. Now you're a dad. But I got in the car, and the atmosphere was different in the car
You
before
could
anything
feel
happened.
it. You sensed it.
What in the world? Hey, Mom. And it was like nothing. Oh, no.
Yeah.
What could have gone wrong?
Yeah. The only time I ever had that feeling getting into the car, I skipped school to leave with my girlfriend in high school to go to her house because her parents weren't home. And my mom suspected that maybe I was doing something like that.
Well, we're going solo cam for you on this.
So listen, you don't want to. And so I thought I was being smart. I parked my car around the side of the house instead of in the driveway. My mom drove past and just to see, took a right to see if there's any car off to the side. And there was. And so when I got home that afternoon after school, she was vacuuming. Vacuum turned off as soon as I walked through the door. She was like, "How was school?" The way "How was school" was asked is what you're talking about. That feeling. I walked in, "Hey, Mom, how was school?"
And you got to make a choice now.
Well, she's just presented me with the opportunity to be truthful or just to straight-faced lie, and I chose to lie.
Right. Are you going to take this bluff down to the river?
Yeah. I was like, I went, it was great. Great day of school. Really? What'd you do? That's a double down. Now I've given you a chance to double down.
Okay, so that's the turn card.
Yeah. Oh, really? What'd you do? So now are you going to continue? And I knew what you do was the opportunity I needed to basically say, I'm out. I'm folding. That's it.
You mucked that hand.
I did. As soon as she said that, I was like, oh, she knows. If she had just said, oh, whatever, I would have kept going with it. Because you know from the ice cream store that I can keep it going.
Yeah. Dean Martin, I can't lie to you. That is my work.
That is my work. Yeah, that was a toughie. And then I remembered, I was like, okay, well.
That's where you got to go PR mode. Mom, I can't lie to you. I can't, I was going to try.
I didn't do that, but I said I left school early. Oh, you did you? And then, then that began the conversation. So that's how that went. That was the draw 2 card.
Not well.
Yeah, that's a toughie. How was school? I'll never forget it. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
This is Kyle, service manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
Football at El Jalisco, football at El Jalisco, what a combination. It's a great big celebration. It's football at El Jalisco. I can dig it. Who's playing? Oh, man, everybody. The ACC, the SEC, all the C's, and even the pros. The Bucks, the Steelers, the Giants, the Cowboys. Wow, far out. You bet, man. When the game is on, it's on at El Jalisco with incredible specials on everything from frosty cervezas to salty margaritas. Does Margarita know? Dios mío, not again. The best place to watch the game is El Jalisco. College, pros, Monday night, Thursday night, you name it, El Jalisco is football headquarters. And with 5 Tallahassee area locations, there's probably an El Jalisco right around the corner right now.
You were always more than my mom.
You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
This is Andy Cohen. When I was a law enforcement officer, I devoted my life to a career of service and protection. Who's protecting you? Give me a call. 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. Helping you is what we do best.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
Are you prepared for more severe food shortages? It's likely that over the next year, serious food shortages will plague us. American farmers are dealing with insane diesel fuel prices and fertilizer shortages, which will lower crop yields. And that means your family's favorite foods will soon be in short supply while fetching sky-high prices. Inflation is the new normal, folks. It's time to act before things get even worse. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com without delay. You'll find ready-hour emergency food kits from My Patriot Supply that last up to 25 years in storage. Each kit provides over 2,000 calories a day to keep your energy up. Order your emergency food kits today by going to MyPatriotSupply.com. Your food ships fast and arrives in unmarked boxes. Listen, there are ways to beat food shortages. When you're ready for real preparedness, make sure to look for ready-hour foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now. MyPatriotSupply.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village.
In 1980, I'm forgetting the year.
Well, I had to drop a little bit of AC/DC in there because
My
that's
mom, yeah.
Usually we open the segment with that, but since it was top of the hour, I couldn't.
She's a big fan. I was surprised when she didn't go with me to see AC/DC in Lakeland all those years ago. That's what they opened with, by the way, and it was fantastic.
They opened with George Harrison's all those years ago?
No.
Oh.
Which would have been a hell of a cover from Brian Johnson and the Boys.
Could you imagine?
Angus came out of the middle of the crowd, this tube thing. It was fantastic. He was wearing devil horns.
I wonder if they ever trolled people like that. They played something smooth just to start.
Like you walk out, it's AC/DC. They're a one-trick pony. So can you imagine you're there, that crowd is riled up. They're like, we're going to open up with a cover of our favorite Jewel song.
We love Genesis.
You're like, what?
You want to hear some Phil?
What is this? What is going on? I would have picked the Bucks if you could have ensured me that Chris Godwin is a full go and is ready to go. They're saying game time decision still, I believe.
Which is interesting because he was a full go in practice a couple days ago.
Right.
So it's an up and down existence with him. He cannot get healthy in his contract year. This is his third crack at this thing because of 2 franchise tags.
Yeah. I'll just tell you that guy is a big reason that Tampa can, if he's right by the halfway point of the season, be a problem for people because he's what makes the offense go.
Do you think that they've struck gold with Julio Jones? I've got an odd feeling they might have.
They might have. He's right.
And if they don't, you got Russell Gage. They are so loaded at that position.
No,
it's just a matter of having time.
They did that position, and if Mike's head's on right, not Mike, excuse me, I don't know why I said it.
Mike's
locked in.
The back end of that last season was unbelievable.
I didn't mean to say Mike Evans. I meant to say Tom Brady. If Tom's head is on straight and it doesn't get knocked off because the offensive line isn't good, correct, they have weapons for days, and they will be a problem because they're good enough on defense. So I'm with you. But I just don't remember seeing an offseason for any team. I'm not talking about the Bucs. I'm talking about any team. If you laid that storyline on one of the high-profile teams this offseason, so the Chiefs or the Rams or every year the Cowboys are a high-profile team, whether they deserve to be or not. But any of the teams that we all, like the Bills, any of the teams that we pay attention to because of talent or tradition or both, if you gave that storyline to anybody else, I think we would both be saying, well, they're a mess. They lost 3 offensive linemen. They had an all-pro retire out of nowhere. They had another lineman they brought in get hurt. Their best lineman, the center, is out for seemingly the year. And their star quarterback is having cosmetic surgery while missing 2 weeks of practice and is rumored to be going through a divorce. There's no way that you could paint that as something other than a disaster.
No, I agree, but I think the Packers thing last summer was pretty close with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, all that drama is back and forth between the GMs, and then he has to appear on Pat McAfee show every week to clear. Well, I didn't really mean that.
Well, that was just
as
because
he's
impossible. But
then Bakhtiari's hurt on top of it. The Devontae Adams contract situation. It's not as much noise in the system as us because we're missing more pieces.
I was just about to say the actual missing of 3 offensive linemen is a huge problem for a 57-year-old quarterback who's out having surgery to get a thinner face. I don't know, man. It's a little troubling. Like, I could see this go off a cliff.
Here's the problem, is we're never going to see him wear the old Bucco bruises because they pushed him back because of supply chain issues to next year. You're telling me that
I don't believe
I don't believe that either.
What is
There's a price.
What is the problem?
There's a price, and it would be worth it. It would be worth that price. You would make your money back at the I mean, they charge $80 for a regular T-shirt when you go to the club level there.
Yeah, no.
People would spend $400 on a Brady, creamsicle jersey.
I agree. I don't understand why they're losing out on the opportunity. And we were told it was going to happen. Originally it was going to happen a year ago.
Correct.
I don't know. It's a strange deal. We'll see. The story of the day for Florida State is a good story. Let me do this because we got to ask the question, and I want to answer it and marry the two. So they rebounded, according to Mike, from bad practice to good practice. We could have guessed as much. I'm going to assume they had good practices after the one bad one and their first day back after the win. Then we got the news of the white helmets to go with the white on white uniform combination. That's fun. Notice what we're not talking about. Yeah, I know Florida State doesn't play this weekend, so you can't preview a game. But we're not talking about problems in the locker room, something somebody said on social media, a quote taken out of context, a bevy of injuries. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a 2-0 team that gets to take a respite and watch very closely their next opponent in Louisville. We're talking about things as banal as, hey, they're wearing a different helmet next week. I like this storyline. I like the sort of we don't have anything really to talk about until we play another game aspect of where we're at. Because let's not take for granted that is the antithesis of where we've been early in seasons the last 5 years. The last 5 years, we've been talking about when are we going to stop sucking at the very least. The last 5 years, we've thought, could they maybe win 3 or 4 games? Should this coach be replaced? I don't even mean the head coach, like just that coach or this coach or Fuller or whoever, right? Like, how is it we don't have any receivers? Like, the storylines were all just depressing, centered around ineptitude, centered around this projection of a faraway time when Florida State might matter again. Here we sit, and we don't know. Florida State may not be top 25 bound, but we do know they're undefeated currently. We do know they're coming off a really big win on national television. We do know the quarterback has taken a huge step forward. Objectively speaking, regardless of what we think is a winnable game or a losable game or everything in between. You know Jordan's better. You just saw it with your own eyes. So we're not sitting around hoping to catch a break. Maybe that guy that's now going to have to fill in for the starter who just went down for the year is serviceable. Like, we're not having those conversations. So this is, to me, the greatest boring-ass development on a Friday before a third football game that we've had in a very long time.
I agree. The only thing that I would talk about that is a negative side story is Norvell's reaction yesterday to the 2 days ago to the Fabian Lovett question. I didn't like the way he responded to that. Fabian puts out on social media he's fine, and then the way Mike responds to it has me feeling like, well, it's not that it's a season-ending thing or something like that, but just that wasn't, we look forward to Fabian returning to practice tomorrow. We look forward to Fabian returning to practice on Monday of game or Sunday, which would be a Monday for us, whatever it is. He said, well, when he gets back, we know he's going to be a full go. I just didn't like that. So for me, I think that's a concern going into next week. It's a preview of what we're going to talk about next week. But that's the only personnel thing I'm concerned about. But it's not a culture issue. It's not somebody taking Florida State off of all of their social media, and then we got to talk about, is this guy transferring or not? It's nothing like that. It's just it's a personnel issue that I'm interested to see next week.
So I think that would be a storyline that, yes, you're going to pay attention to because of what a vital piece to the puzzle he is on the defensive front and really to the success of that defense as a whole. But you would admit that is just because the conviction wasn't in Mike's voice and nothing more. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. None of us have heard
correct.
anything.
That's
None
just
of
the
us
way he answered it. I was
Yeah.
like, man, okay, that doesn't sound like immediate.
It sounds like a guy who's going to be nursing some bruises that didn't really need to practice this week. And again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know Fabian can play. And he knows he can play too. Not Fabian, but the coaches. He knows. He doesn't need to be out there pushing this thing if he just needs to, rest up. It's a long season. And you're in the trenches. And guys are going to get beat to hell. And that guy does work. And you saw what he did against LSU in terms of just manhandling some guys. Every team is going to endeavor to neutralize that impact. So he's got to be right.
Yeah, and the other thing I'd say that's on the positive side is Maurice Smith did beat their own prognosis back to the field. What are you laughing about?
While you were talking, Proton Packin wrote, just knowing that Chaz Neal isn't coming out to block for James Blackman's refreshing.
Well, that's one way to put it in perspective.
That's a better way to put it, yeah.
Put it up for everybody to see. Show the class.
That's funny. That's really well done. Bravo. And he's right. I mean, think about the level of, oh, man. And I was having to tiptoe around all the time. Like, I like the kid, but, I got tired of saying he can't play, he can't play, he can't play, he can't play, he can't play.
Yes, it's an impossible situation because, your job is to assess what you're seeing. But also, it's not the kid's fault that they're here and in a position to fail.
Correct. That was always the hard part.
That's
it's like,
it
was never personal, but I was like, that guy's not FSU caliber. Not if we're good, not if we're winning. That's not where where we're supposed to be. You don't see like half
Congrats to the young man for getting the offer, landing and signing to Florida State. But we play other teams that are good.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's interesting to think about if they get to 3-0. Like this weekend, I'm going to be watching everybody else, most notably the teams that are going to be on our schedule. Now, that and the teams that I bet on, obviously. But I'm going to be watching very closely those teams because this is not a good league. We know that. And how bad is the league? Well, let's see. If Louisville doesn't bounce back and they look terrible again, all of a sudden you're like, well, that was a game I thought we might lose this offseason on the road on a Friday night. We lost to them a year ago. Malik Cunningham's back. If the defense is better, this could be a tough game for us. Now we'll think most assuredly that we're going to win that game. Let's then look at, how much better is NC State than they were in that game against East Carolina? Like, you're going to be looking for signs that some of the games that you didn't love, they may be growing on you, baby.
You go 3-0, you're staring at a pregame show before the Wake game at 4-0. on the cusp of winning your first 5.
Oh, buddy.
Right.
I'm going to get the willies.
You're on the top deck of Hotel Indigo, and we're about to go live talking about a football program that could be going 5-0, which would put us right around the top 15 before that matchup with NC State.
It would, yeah.
You have to be. Buddy.
I know somebody asked, I guess the storyline aspect of this, and there are not a ton of developing storylines through 2 games, one of them against basically a glorified high school. But Jordan Travis, to me, is the developing storyline, in addition to what we're talking about here, which is the possibility that you can win this Louisville game, because then that game after that, the reason Tom is saying 4-0, guys, is Boston College is sandwiched in between Louisville.
Yeah, I'm aware of the schedule.
No, I know you are. I'm just letting everybody know that Boston College is sandwiched in between Louisville and Wake Forest. And Boston College just lost at home to Rutgers.
And that's a quarterback who can't get out on the run against this defensive line.
And who lost their entire offensive line against this defensive line.
Correct.
So I'm with you. So if you beat Louisville 7:30 on a Friday night, ESPN primetime, everybody watch it, and go to 3-0, you're really going to be, in all likelihood, 4-0. So 4-0 against a Wake team that will be ranked, you're likely going to be ranked at that point. So a battle of 2 ranked ACC foes getting it on. Doak Campbell Stadium, revenge game after we got screwed by the refs last year, along with some really suspect decisions from the coaching staff. That was a toughie. I really want that Wake game. Oddly, I've kind of circled the Wake game as an anger game, as a revenge game. I never thought I'd be in a position to be so pissed off at Wake Forest, but I am. You go 5-0, taking it down the road to NC State, buddy.
That might be College game day if NC State is – because, well, NC State plays Clemson the week before. Is that right?
NC State's schedule.
Or is it
they got Charleston Southern this weekend. They'll beat them. They'll go to 2-0. Then it's Texas Tech, UConn, and Clemson.
Before us.
Clemson is on the 1st of October.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if they beat Clemson and we're 5-0, that's College game day, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, they have. So for NC State, the stretch that they have, if they're going to navigate this to win the ACC or to get to the ACC championship game, they have Clemson, Florida State, Syracuse, at Va Tech. Now, Va Tech lost to Old Dominion.
Syracuse is interesting now, at least.
Well, you're going to pay attention to them. And don't let them fool around and win another couple of games, because then Dino Babers will talk to you about it for hours. Woo! Oh, that guy. It's Jeff Cameron, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
2 Crawfordville residents were arrested for trafficking fentanyl Wednesday after a search warrant was executed at their property located at 799 Raywinkle Road in Crawfordville. The search resulted in the arrest of Curtis Ray Woodward and Candace Ashley Mormer after fentanyl and drug paraphernalia were found, and during some of the illegal transactions, elementary-aged children were present, leading to child neglect charges. Additional charges also stem from Woodward kicking the interior of the patrol car, headbutting the cage of the vehicle, and hitting a detective while attempting to forcefully exit the patrol car. The Tallahassee Ballet hosted a ribbon-cutting ceremony in celebration of opening its new location Thursday. The new building was purchased last year, but the ceremony was pushed back due to COVID. This year, the ballet also celebrates its 50th anniversary with 55 dancers. The dance company was able to go from a local studio to a professional company. The ballet company will host a performance September 23rd and 25th at the Opperman Music Hall. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. Highs around 82. East winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms likely tonight. Lows dip down to about 72. Cloudy skies expected. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 83. Overcast. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 86.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah,
My goodness.
well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Pastor Tabner was alone with a female church employee. She in a towel and he in his boxers. The charismatic 41-year-old Hurley explained the two of them had been making chili and gotten food on their clothes. With the hot dogs that they were making, we are hoping that the pastor used the right condiments.
Think there was at least one hot dog involved.
I don't know what you're talking about. We were just making chili dogs.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now.
Construction, they believe in doing things the right way and the safe way. Employees undergo regular safety training and are constantly being educated on new techniques and new materials, such as becoming a master metal applicator, which is awesome. If you if you haven't considered a new metal roof, maybe you should. Long lasting, durable. You're in luck. T-Spark Enterprises Roofing and Construction, best in town at that too. Period. Call them today, 766-1340. You can always get a free quote if you want to. tsparkconstruction.com. Woo! That is for Seth. Thank you, Seth. And I'm sorry to hear that you tore your Achilles. Ooh. That's a Seth.
Seth, did you hear it first before you felt it? That's usually how it goes, right?
You know, I've known 4 or 5 people that have torn their Achilles. It's always interesting to me that most of the time, you're right, you can hear it, but you don't even know it because you don't feel pain instantly. It's sort of like what just happened? And then your foot doesn't work. And then it's, we're in trouble here. Winning and recruiting go hand in hand, obviously. This start, and we cannot overstate the importance of this start. If they can get to 3-0, Tom, when we were piecing together the wins, we talked a lot about with the recruiting cycle being what it is these days. Who you beat, when you beat them, it always matters, but it matters differently than it used to because kids are fast-tracked in making these decisions now. If you can start strong, if you have a bump in the road, can you have it later? Don't have it early. Don't start 1 and 2. They're off of you, and they're not coming back to see if you turn it around. They've seen enough, and they've turned their – Hakeem Nicks at that point says, I've seen enough here. I think I know what they are. I'm going to look over here where they've sustained some things. What we've done with him now is, in addition to him already having been interested, what did I say, Nicks?
No, you're right.
I was right,
Hakeem
right?
Williams.
Well,
Yeah.
I said Nicks.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
why. Yeah, been to say Williams. Anyhow, so there's a guy that came here. We saw him at practice, and yes, he looks the part. And there he is,
He
having
had a shirt on that said "I am that guy." Or
I am
something
that
like
guy.
that.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, receivers, you know how they are. So there he is, and he's excited, and he loved it here. He has said as much. He was having an enjoyable time. But, let's be honest. It's one thing to be kicking it on the sidelines, enjoying practice, being treated well by the university, the coaches, and the players who want you to go to that school. It's all another to take seriously the idea of committing to that institution. A weekday visit is one thing. Maybe I want to spend 4 years here. Let's see what you got for me. Well, going out and winning that game that way, we saw already piqued his interest. He continues to talk about Florida State. So, okay.
Yeah, that's it. He'll still take your calls at this point. That's what you want, the kid to continue to take your calls because you've got no benefit of the doubt. So if you can keep the conversation going, you're doing your job.
somebody would see, for example, that A&M is the other team and say, well, we can't outbid them. No, but it's not all about that. You just have to have a competitive offer.
That's the important thing about what this offense did on Sunday is that film looks very different if you're a wide receiver than any other film at Florida State from Mike Norvell. You as a receiver can look at that and say, oh, okay.
Well, that plays.
I could be Johnny and I'm going to catch that ball. I could be Cam in the slot on a play like that, even though I'm not a tight end. I'm going to catch that ball. And I'm going to be the guy that's the hero. I could be Micah Pittman on 4th and 2. He wants to go to me. He's going to trust me. I'm going to make that play.
Prize Picks on the screen. If you're watching, paying attention there. If you're going to sign up for Prize Picks, I would ask that you do so using the promo code Warchant. We get credit for that. We appreciate your help for that. Prize Picks is something that I have pimped for some time, and I use the product myself. I wouldn't do it otherwise. I wouldn't just talk about them for the sake of talking about them. I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think you can mix and match and find more unique ways to win money, and that's what it's about. They will match your deposit 100%. So if you go in on it and decide that this is something for you, I'm not telling you what to do, but if that's something you want to do, I like their product. I like what they do. They do match you, and you can instantly pull your money if you win, so that's good.
Thanks to the dozens who have done so in the last week. Our mutual friend down in Tampa, my buddy from college.
He did it too?
Yeah, he texted me yesterday. Do you really like it? I was like, yeah, man. What do you think?
Yeah.
Of course I do.
Yeah. We're not just saying it to say it. Yeah, I enjoy it. I absolutely enjoy it. Side note here, Major League Baseball passed some sweeping rule changes today. I know it's not time, but they voted Friday to implement a pitch clock, ban defensive shifts in 2023 to hasten the game's pace and increase action. Wow. There it is.
There you go, Manfred. You got this one right. Now, is it robotic strike zones? Did we get that next year? Probably not.
The league's competition committee, composed of 6 ownership level representatives, if I can speak, 4 players and 1 umpire, approved the pitch clock of 15 seconds with empty bases and 20 seconds with runners on. Defensive alignment that must include 2 fielders on each side of the second base bag. Both feet on the dirt as well, as rules limited pickoff moves and expanding the size of bases.
That also matters.
Yeah.
On the dirt.
Wasn't unanimous, but it was enough. They've been using the minor league pitch clock forever. And so when strictly enforced, it has accelerated the speed of games. It's not hard, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Many of those rules were on the books for a very long time anyhow. They just never enforced them.
Well,
let's go.
Look, he's been very us. He's on the open market next year. If he re-signs, I'll be happy. But for Chris Bassett games, I will now watch them with great fervor versus now where I go, oh, God, it's Bassett. Great, because he uses the shake off to piss off the hitter. He likes to get under their skin. So he'll shake off 7 times.
Yeah, no, nobody's got time for that.
No, it's ridiculous. Throw the pitch.
1 o'clock window games that you like the most as we welcome back the NFL. I would say that there isn't a great slate there. Oddly enough, I'm intrigued greatly by Philadelphia and Detroit. I do think Detroit's going to be better. I think Philadelphia is going to be outright good. So that interests me. But the 1 o'clock slate is not good.
It's not great, Bob. I want to see what Jameis looks like, so that's going to pique my interest and hold my interest, even if they're blowing out the Falcons. That's fine. He also started well last year against Green Bay, lest we forget, when they played in Jacksonville. Eagles-Lions is oddly interesting, and then all this noise around the Patriots. I want to see if it's real. And there's pressure on the Dolphins now, so it's strange.
It is different.
There is big time pressure.
I can see all my Dolphins brothers and sisters out there. I know you guys have been hoping against hope for a long time that Tua is going to be a player, and I don't really know that he is, but they are good on defense, and they've given him weapons. So if he's going to take a step, it has to be now. And that Patriots team comes across as a unmitigated disaster.
Right.
It's bizarre what they're doing. You've got defensive minds calling offensive plays and arguing about it and changing out who does it, what quarter and when. If anybody else was doing that, we'd be making fun of them.
Meanwhile, they're going to cut to Belichick's kid, who's just going to be like on the sidelines.
Right. It is a little strange.
But there's huge pressure on Tua and coach. I forget his name, but the guy they got from the Rams.
The nerdy guy.
To make that all work. And if he starts with 2 3 and outs, there might be boo birds, even though it's no score.
I mean, go easy. I mean, New England's going to play some defense now. They're not going to just roll out there and get stomped.
I agree. I'm just saying, it's in that building. It's going to be kind of weird that it's flipped completely from, oh, God, it's the Patriots. Even though they have a good run, and Lee documented that against the spread and outright, they've done very well when the Patriots come to town. Still, it's gone from 0 to 60, where now the Dolphins are trying to run down the Bills, and the Patriots are just this little hurdle they got to clear.
I would like to see that get interesting, have that division be very, very interesting, have all of this return to a time that I remember many moons ago. I would like to see, but I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I think we know the Bills are atop that.
And
for the foreseeable
if
future.
you doubted, last night was a good start. Doesn't mean the division race is over, but man, that was a thorough beatdown.
One of the coolest things early in an NFL season. Okay, so look, the Bills again are the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl according to Las Vegas. So this isn't just like willy-nilly. This is what we thought, right? That Vegas thinks that's the team to beat. And I think after last year, with the way it shook out, you kind of felt like that team should have made the Super Bowl. Anyhow, long story short, when you see a game, and preseason, it's always hard to get a read. When you see a game on the slate, and you're a bettor, so you know what I'm talking about, and you go, man, this just feels like it's going to be a beating. Like I felt like, and I said it on the air yesterday, like I feel like Buffalo is going to manhandle the Rams. It rarely, because the NFL is weird, it rarely plays out that way, where you're like, oh, I've got great certainty of this result, and then you start watching, you're like, oh, it's the NFL. Everything comes down to the fourth quarter. Everything's within a field goal. I need to leave this alone. Why do I make this? When it does happen for you, you feel like, man, I'm off to a good start. I'm going to probably bet the Bills rather frequently this year, I think, until Vegas adjusts the line.
It's one matchup. It was the Rams' offensive line.
Right?
Because they were moving the ball, but then it would be short-circuited by a can't have it sack on how many possessions.
Yeah, I would agree. But you knew going in that offensive line was going to have a problem. You worried about Cam?
I'm worried about coaching Cam, whatever that relationship is.
What is going on there?
Rolling out Henderson the whole game? Come on, man. That guy ain't that dynamic.
I mean, I like Henderson, but if you had Cam Akers last night, this is what you got.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, did you?
FML, buddy. And Cam made a winning play, too. You know, the block on the 3rd and short. I mean, his head's in the game.
Mm-hmm.
He paved the way for Stafford. Reward him.
That was strange to watch.
Also, he's already dyeing his hair. Are you kidding me? I know you're not shocked by that, but McVay's already dyeing his hair.
Well, I mean,
he's younger than me.
He's vain. I mean, you're not stunned by that. His crazy
I'm
workout.
Too blonde. You know, I need to go brunette this year.
His crazy workout father up in the stands looking like a loser.
I'm not even kidding. I'll bet you he sat down one of his assistant coaches, defensive coaches, who's thinking that they're going to go over a game plan. So what do you think? I think I can't go blonde this year. I think I got to go brunette. What do you think?
So
does that make me look weird?
He was Frost the Tips guy, right?
Right. And now he's just,
It's just gray?
No, it's dark brown.
Dark brown?
Unless it was the TV feed, but it looked like he's gone just for men before he's 40. Let's go, man. Get it together.
Maybe he needs to go bench press.
Always.
Nothing wrong with being in shape. It's just that guy. Like, come on, man. You can't. You're intentionally wearing a shirt that doesn't fit. We're not doing that out here. All right, take a quick break. We'll come back to Deep Probables. Get this thing done. Here we go.
Whitten Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Whitten's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Whitten Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Whitten Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at whittenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
If you're hearing this right now and you or someone you know is active military, a veteran, police officer, firefighter, nurse, or a teacher, turn up the volume and listen to this. My friend Shannon with Legendary Home Loans has a hometown hero loan program designed to make a difference to those who make a difference. When it's time to buy a new home, he will waive all lender fees for all hometown heroes. That's a $1,600 value right out of the gate. Also, if you decide to use their preferred title company for their closing, you'll be saving another $600. That's $2,200 in discounts right off the top. That's like 20 tanks of gas in your car. And today, more than ever, it's important to save as much money as you can, wherever you can. So if you or someone you know is active military, veteran, police officer, firefighter, nurse, or a school teacher and looking to buy a new home, choose Shannon Young, Legendary Home Loans, and ask about their Hometown Heroes program. Call 844-FSU-LOAN or just visit FSUHomeLoans.com. That's FSUHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 2270146.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
Imagine for a moment that you are completely weightless with zero gravity. All of your worries and stress melt away. Your mind stops racing and you fall into a profound state of pure relaxation. This is available to you right now at Tallulah Delta 8 Plus Floating in Railroad Square for just $50. These state-of-the-art floating pods are unlike anything else you've ever experienced, and while you're there, you can shop for some of the latest and greatest CBD and Delta 8 products on the market. Natural pain management, stress relief, and better sleep are all at your fingertips at Tallulah. Tell them Jeff Cameron sent you, and thank me later.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com now.
The choice of traditional or buffalo fingers, boneless or traditional wings even. If you're having trouble deciding, get both with the sampler platter. Not both, but rather both. That's how you say that. And don't forget the world-famous sauce. Satisfy your chicken craving with Zaxby's platters. Order online or in the app. Your Tallahassee Zaxby is a proud Golden Sheep booster for 17 years. Go Noles. All right, buddy. It is time to hit up some probables. Let's do it.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
I do want to make sure that you know Tallulah is sponsoring this, and they've got your CBD, baby.
It's a good background, too. It's just
It
kind of
is.
peaceful
Makes you
looking.
want to go there.
The old AstroTurf. Never want to play on it, but
No.
it looks clean.
CBD, juice bar, floating around in the salt, all the goodness. Let's go. Our friends Tallulah in town. There's 3 locations. Go check them out. All right, here we go. Giants, Cubs, Carlos Rodon, Drew Smiley, Cardinals, Pirates. Oh boy, Miles Nicholas.
Yes. That was a call response thing right there.
Yeah. Bronzy Contreras goes for the Buccos. Mets, Marlins, David Peterson and Edward Cabrera.
Get it together series.
Yeah. Red Sox, Orioles, Rayon Bello and Austin Voth. Nationals, Phillies, Patrick Corbin, Noah Syndergaard. Rays, Yanks, Drew Rasmussen, Frankie Montas. All right. Blue Jays, Rangers, Ross Stripling, Dane Dunning. Angels, Astros, Michael Lorenzen, Lance McCullers Jr. Tigers, Royals, Joey Wentz, Daniel Lynch. Guardians, Twins, Cal Quantrill, Dylan Bundy. Reds, Brewers, Nick Lodolo, Jason Alexander. D-backs, Rocky, Zach Davies, Herman Marquez. Now we're into the final home stretch. We got Dodgers, Padres, Dustin May, Mike Clevenger, Braves, Mariners, Martin, as in Charlie, Robbie Ray.
Hey!
White Sox, Athletic, Lucas Giolito, and James Caprillion. And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. All right. It is time for a cold one, buddy. Libations Friday is calling our name.
Sometimes the 3 o'clock hits different, and you say, 3 o'clock's it's late enough. We've gone too far in the day.
Without a beer?
Without a beer.
Let's go have a beer, buddy. Let's go do that. We can. We're grown-ups. We're adults. We're of age. We've got the means by which to pay for a beer.
Thank you to Z-Jan today, who was
Man, he made it possible for us to buy beer.
and for us to buy Mom a beer when she comes to town.
Several. Yeah. No, we can do what we want. Expensive beers at that. Thanks to all of you in fact. And
Eric and Seth as well.
Appreciate everybody. Good work out of you, Tom. Have a great week and enjoy the football, everybody. Back with you on Monday. Peace.